Welcome to Bible Jews. Would you leave everything behind to follow God's call, no matter the cost? Hudson Taylor did. And his legacy shook the foundations of missions work forever. Part 1: Early Life. Hudson Taylor was born on May 21, 1832, in Barnsley, England, into a devout Christian family. From a young age, his parents prayed he would one day serve as a missionary. At 17, after reading a gospel tract, Hudson gave his life to Christ and soon felt a deep calling to bring the gospel to China. This conviction shaped every step of his future. Determined to prepare well, he studied medicine and Mandarin, laying the foundation for the mission field ahead. Even before setting foot in China, Hudson Taylor had resolved to live a life fully surrendered to God's call. Part 2: First Mission to China. In 1853, at just 21 years old, Hudson Taylor sailed alone to China, supported by the Chinese Evangelization Society. He arrived in Shanghai amidst civil unrest and widespread poverty. Mission work was difficult. He battled illness, loneliness, and cultural rejection. But Taylor made a bold and radical decision. He adopted Chinese dress, wore a traditional pigtail, and chose to live among the people like one of them. While this was frowned upon by other Western missionaries, it opened hearts and built bridges. His humility and willingness to adapt marked a new model for missions. Part 3: Founding the China Inland Mission. In 1865, while walking along the south coast of England, Hudson Taylor was overwhelmed with the burden of China's unreached millions. That day, he prayed for 24 willing workers, and later that year, he founded the China Inland Mission, now known as OMF International. The mission's approach was groundbreaking: no guaranteed salaries, no appeals for funds, just a complete dependence on God. Taylor's unwavering faith and leadership sent hundreds of missionaries into China's most remote provinces. The China Inland Mission became a movement that prioritized souls over systems, reaching where no one else would go. Part 4: Perseverance through Trials. Hudson Taylor's life was marked by deep personal loss and relentless trials. He faced constant illness, fierce opposition, and the heartbreaking deaths of his beloved wife Maria and several of their children. Still, he pressed on. His faith did not waver. He believed that God's work done in God's way would never lack God's provision. With every setback, he leaned further into prayer and trust. Even in weakness, Hudson found strength in God, inspiring countless others by the way he lived out the gospel in suffering, not just in success. Part 5: Lasting Legacy. Hudson Taylor died on June 3, 1905, in China, the land he loved and served for over 50 years. By the time of his death, more than 800 missionaries had joined the China Inland Mission, supported by over 500 Chinese helpers. Together, they established 125 schools and brought the gospel to tens of thousands. His legacy went far beyond numbers. Hudson Taylor showed the world that missions required not just strategy, but surrender. He lived what he preached: radical faith, cultural humility, and total reliance on God. His story continues to call us to a life fully yielded to Christ. The Great Commission is not an option to be considered, it is a command to be obeyed. Hudson Taylor gave everything to bring Christ to the heart of China. What are we willing to surrender for the gospel? Like, share and subscribe to Bible Jews channel for scripture-inspired devotions.